Well, hello, all of you beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in to Girl What? My name's Mariah.
And I'm Sarah, and we're so happy to have you here with us. If you're new, welcome to our crazy little family where everyone is welcome, no question is dumb, and something fun is always bound to happen.
And if you're returning listeners, welcome back. Thanks for joining us once again and trusting us to liven up your day. As you can tell by the title of this episode, we're going to be talking about some of our worst dating stories. We're digging back into the archives of our dating history and laying out all of the worst, most cringeworthy moments for you all. Unfortunately for us, but fortunately for you all, there have been a lot.
Yeah, this will be interesting. So without further ado, let's stop stalling and get started.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this was a fun one to think back on for me this week.
Yeah. It was interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to start us off?
Sure, why not?
I'm like dying to hear yours. I know I sound like too enthusiastic. I'm so excited to hear yours.
Okay, so mine is about my first kiss. So very, very important time in a teenage girl's life. Very important milestone.
Yes.
And it was a complete train wreck.
What?
So yeah. My first kiss was also happened on my first date. Ever.
How old were you?
It was either I had just gotten my license because I was able to drive to the date because I was not going to ask my father to drive me to this date. I wasn't even going to let him know that I was going to a date. So I got my license towards the end of my junior year. So it must have been like end of junior year, like early senior year, or maybe like summer, the in between. Yeah, so I was like 16, 17, whatever I may have been. And I frequented this site called, I've talked about it already on the podcast. I frequented a site called My Yearbook, or as more people will know it probably, Meet Me. But
Meet Me.
back in the day, it was called My Yearbook. And I connected with this guy on there. Guarantee he won't watch this, so I'm just going to say it. His name was Alex. He was from Barron. And we were just like, you want to go on a date? Yeah, sure. All right, let's go see a movie in Rice Lake. And we're like, okay, perfect. What movie do we go to? Grown Ups 2. So like perfect first date movie,
Perfect
you know?
first date movie.
And first red flag I should have immediately seen, but was just blinded by the fact that this was in fact my first date, was the fact that he parked his van over by like the really like wooded unpopulated area of the parking lot. Like nobody was over there, nobody was even remotely close. He was the only car parked there. And so I pulled up beside him, and then we just like awkwardly said our hellos and then like went inside, watched the movie. I think at one point during the movie he may have like held my hand or tried to hold my hand or something, I don't know. Good movie, so like that was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the movie, we go back out to our cars, and he's just like standing there. Like we say our goodbyes, and he's just standing there. And so I'm like, I get inside my head. I'm like, Mariah, this is your moment. You're about to have your first kiss. And he wasn't doing anything, like he wasn't initiating. So I'm like, girl, you got to do it yourself. You got to initiate. Yeah. And so I go and I like, he's taller than me. And so I like kind of get up on my tiptoes and I like kiss him. But, oh God, when I say that I didn't have anything to base like this off of, so I didn't know if it was a good kiss or not. But let me tell you, it was a bad kiss. This guy was all teeth. It felt like he was trying to eat my lips. Yeah.
What?
It felt like he was trying to eat my lips, not kiss me.
Oh my God.
And it was like a good 5 to 10 second kiss. So it wasn't just like a quick peck. No, it was like he was trying to, so he was acting like he had not eaten for 3 days and my mouth was like a delicious piece of steak or something. Like he was very like basically chewing on my mouth.
I have never had that happen.
Good.
Oh my God.
Because it's not fun. It's disgusting.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So that was mine. That was my first one.
Okay. Yeah, so mine, it was kind of funny to me too that we have so many that like so many stories between the two of us that we could have another episode on this, but I thought of all these ones I hadn't shared, and then I got an anonymous submission of one that I'll share at the end because it's gold. But anyway, so I what was I going to say? Oh, anyway, I met this guy on Tinder, okay? So swipe in and match with this guy. His name was Nate and super tall. So here's the thing too, for all my short queens out there, I stand at 5'3". Don't ask me why, but it's like, it's a thing I look for, 6 feet or higher. And like, why? Because then they tower you, but I don't know, it's just what I think is attractive. This dude, 6'6", okay? Homie was 6'6", and towered me like crazy. Well, first date, he's like, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, I'm open to whatever. And he's like, well, let's go to a movie. I have never met this person, okay? So I'm like, okay. And so we go to a movie. No plans for dinner after or anything. We're in the movie, and like the whole time I'm like, this guy is so hot. Oh my gosh. Like, that's all I'm thinking about. He holds my hand. Again, kind of weird because, like, he's a stranger, and so we had only been talking, like, a week. So we go after the movie, we go outside, and we're standing there, again, 5'3", 6'6", okay? And we're standing there talking, and I'm like, okay, so I'd love to, do you want to go and, like, get ice cream or hang out again sometime? And he, without saying anything, leans down and kisses me on the mouth with no warning. And he is bent in half to do it. And there are people coming out that are like, I can hear people starting to laugh. And I kind of stood there like, what is going on? And so he kissed me, and so yeah, he's kissing me just like on the lips, holding it, not doing anything else. And I'm like, okay. So I open my eyes, and he's still bent in half, just sitting there. And so he pulls back, and he's like, this was really nice. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, okay, see ya, and leaves. That's it. He doesn't say anything else. No hug, no nothing. Like, and mind you, all Girl What listeners, there was no lead up, okay, to this kiss. We literally were standing there casually talking, and all of a sudden he leaned down. There was nothing cute about it. So we that happens, right? We plan for date number 2. He actually messages me and is like, I'd love to hang out again. And in my mind, I'm like, he's really hot. Maybe it's worth going again. On the way to the date, he's like, hey, so, because mind you, a couple times in like a week span, he had canceled, like something came up or he couldn't go. And so we finally lock it down, right? We're going to go. I'm on the way to, Hayward to go to this date. He messages me and is like, actually, can we go to Dairy Queen instead of, we were going to go to the steakhouse? And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I just thought it'd be more fun. I'm like, all right. So I get off the phone. I had to stop for gas. And I checked Facebook while I was gassing my car. It was buy one, get one free Blizzard Day at Dairy Queen.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, at first I was like, maybe it's a coincidence, And he messages me. This is so bad. He messages me and goes, well, like, you like Blizzards, right? Like when you eat at Dairy Queen. And I'm like, motherfucker, I am going home. And so I told him, I was like, I don't think this is gonna work. I'm sorry. Like, and I got in the car and I went home. Like, it just, up until that point too, it had been such weird communication. And after the weird kiss thing, I was like, I don't wanna, no.
I mean, hey, it was kind of a win-win scenario for both of you. You didn't have to go on the horrible date, and he got himself buy one get one free Blizzard.
Yes, he got two for one.
Yeah, exactly. He got 2 Blizzards all to himself. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Oh God. I forgot some of them that I wrote on my list. Oh no. Um, yeah, so my second one, this was like major lapse in
Oh
judgment
no.
on my part. I think just because I was like that like unpopular girl in school, and like guys never really showed me much attention unless we were like buddy buddy, you know. I was just like taking what I can get. And again, this was on my yearbook. My entire downfall. I met this man, and he is, oh no, I'm so happy that it did not work out with him. Because I met him on my yearbook, and everything about him seemed off. Like anytime we would talk, he'd be like, he'd like flatter me a lot. He'd be like, "Oh, blah blah blah, you're so beautiful." All this just trash stuff that like guys know to say to like hook a girl in. Um, and he lived around the area. He lived in like, I don't know, like Ladysmith or something. And so finally, I decided to go on a date with him. And this was also like, I think this was my senior year. And there had been a number of like red flags that had popped up already, but like I said, I was just wearing rose-colored glasses that entire time because I'm like, a boy is paying attention to me. Oh my god. Um,
It's a boy.
and like he was like pretty relatively attractive. Like even one of my other friends, he's like, yeah, like he's hot. Um, and no. And so I went on this date with him, and he picks me up in this like beautiful car. Beautiful car. It was a black Mustang, and it was like a new black Mustang, beautiful. And he smelled really good. So like those were two amazing just like steps up for him right there. So I'm like, "Hey, maybe this won't be that bad." I stand corrected. Cuz he first of all, he took me to a gas station, didn't say what he was going to do. He didn't get gas. He went in there and
What?
was in there for a suspicious amount of, yeah, he was in there for a suspicious amount of time, just left me in the car. And I was just sitting there like, okay, all right. And then he gets back in the car. He's like, all right, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I I don't know. You invited me on this date? Like,
I
what?
thought you had this planned.
And so I'm like, he's like, yeah, I don't care. We can go wherever. Like, we can go to like Eau Claire. We can go to blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, okay. Well, my friends are working at my place of business, the Hungry Minnow. I'm like, my friends are working right now. We can just go like chill there and get some ice cream. And he's like, okay, yeah, for sure. So we go there, and on the way there, okay, so we started out, we were in Cameron, at a gas station in Cameron. And so, yeah, we were in Cameron, and then I just put out the idea that we go to Birchwood to go to the Hungry Minnow, and he was like, yeah, for sure. So on the way there, he just flat out comes out and says, yeah, every girl I've been with, I've cheated on.
What?
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm sitting there like, it's okay, obviously he's joking. And so I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, no, like, I mean it. Like, I just wanted to let you know. And I'm just sitting there, just
Is this
dumbfounded,
real
like,
life?
oh, right. I'm like, oh, okay. And meanwhile, just sirens are going off in my head, like red lights are
I'm
flashing. I'm
gonna
like,
end up in a
oh
ditch
no.
today.
And so, yeah, and so on the way there, I texted my friends who were working. I'm like, guys, what the hell's going on? Like, and I told them, and they were just like, just get him to bring you here, get him to leave you here. We'll take care of the rest.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so we go in there, we have ice cream, and yeah, whatever. That was the last time I saw him up until up until my freshman year of college. And for those of you who don't know me or didn't know me at that time, which 99% of you don't, I was a hoe in college. Not physically speaking, you know, but just throwing myself everywhere in every way except for like sexually. I was talking to so many people. It was not good. And I was an emotional hoe, if you will.
Yes. Still a hoe.
Yeah. And so because this guy like knew all the right things to say and he was actually really hot and whatever, I messaged him again or he messaged me, I can't remember, but he convinced me and give me grace on this one, everybody. He convinced me at midnight on like a Tuesday to drive 20 minutes to Hudson to Applebee's that was closed to meet him. And then because it was
Mariah.
closed when and then because it was and here's the other good part. My car was parked all the way across campus, so I had to text my roommate who was out of town to ask her if I could borrow her car
Oh
to go
my
to
god.
Applebee's to meet this guy.
Oh my god.
and and she for some reason let me do it.
Oh my god.
So shouts out to you, Sophie, for letting me do that. You shouldn't have, by the way. Um, so what did we? That's okay. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So yeah, I go to Applebee's. It's closed. Obviously, it's midnight, and so he's like, "Well, do you wanna just go get some food at like this bar downtown?" And I don't know Hudson. Like I barely know River Falls where I'm going to college. I don't know Hudson at all. And so I'm like, okay, maybe he knows the area. And so we go to like into like downtown, like kind of seedy area, this really weird bar. We walk in and we have like appetizers, if that, and it's so like dingy and weird, and I'm just like I'm not feeling it, and so I I like finish what I can as fast as I can, and then we get out of there, and he's like, "All right, what do you want to do now?" And I'm like, "Bro, it's
Does
like
homie
like
never
maybe
plan
one."
dates? Does he never have a
Apparently
plan?
not. Apparently not. No, the only thing that he plans is how he cheats on people.
Ew.
So, yeah. And so by this time it was like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, "Bro, I got to go back to my dorm. I have to wake up for something at like 7:30." And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll take you back to your dorm." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we double drive back to the dorm. He parks and he gets out and walks up to my dorm with me. Whereas I was fully expecting it to end at the parking lot and be like, "All right, have a good night, see you, bye." Nope.
Oh my god.
He follows me up to my dorm room. He gets into my bunk bed
What?
and yeah, he gets into my lofted bed, which like I had it like on the highest
Oh
setting.
my god.
So he like climbs up there and like halfway falls asleep. And so I, being the metaphorical hoe that I was, I get up there and I like lay down with him and I'm just like, okay, whatever, maybe I can like try and get some sleep because he seems like he's sleeping. But then no, he's like, rub my head. I'm like,
Are
what?
you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And so I like just play with his hair or whatever. And then he's like, I don't know how much time had passed at that point. Maybe it was like an hour or two. So it's like 3, 4 in the morning at this point. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go.
What?
I'm like, yeah. And so I'm like, oh, what? Oh, okay. All right. See you later. He's like, well, you're going to walk me to my car, right? And I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone? What's going on? But of course, at that point, I was like, oh, yeah, for sure. And so we walked down to his car at like 4 in the morning. Like literally the sun is
Oh
rising. I
my
could see the sun
god.
rising. I have to be up in an hour or whatever. And we get to his car and he just really weirdly like kisses me when I thought nothing of the sort was ever going to happen and I was never going to see this guy again. So he just like, yeah, really weirdly kisses me and he's like, okay, bye. And just like leaves. Meanwhile, I'm just like standing there in the parking lot, like just looking disheveled as hell, confused as hell. And so I have to like walk of shame back up to my room, although nothing happened. And I'm just like sitting in my room until my alarm was supposed to go off because I'm still fucking awake. So I'm just sitting there like, what just happened? Yeah, and then I had like a 12 or 13 hour day of just nothing but like academic stuff for school, and
Oh
so I
my
was just like
god.
burnt out. So yeah, fully planned on seeing nothing about him ever again. And I didn't until I saw his mugshot.
Shut up!
Yeah.
For what? What did he get arrested for?
He scammed an old lady out of, I want to try and get the number right, $350,000,
Oh
$250,000.
my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Holy crap.
And who knows how many other people he scammed. Maybe that's why he had such a nice car. Yep. So yeah, that's my second
So
one.
that's
Turned out to be a
cool.
felon.
I literally
Went on a date with a felon, just girly things.
I've been racking my brain too, because like I have so many that I'm like, okay, which one do I share next? So I think the one I'll share, because it's really funny and it's not super long. So much like Mariah, I myself found myself in a bit of a hoe phase in freshman year of college. I also, though, to preface this, I was drinking a lot. I have an addictive personality, so I'm an alcoholic. I struggled really, really bad with drinking when I was a freshman. Kind of went hog wild, and I was messaging a lot of guys and like hanging out with a lot of guys. And anyway, one of the dudes, we'll call him Steve. Nope, we'll call him Steve. I should protect. Okay, yep. Anyway, his name's Steve. So Steve and I had paired and we're messaging, and he had a motorcycle, and I was like, ooh, this sounds dangerous and like right up my alley right now. And so we set it up that for 2 weeks. Okay, I had 2 weeks where I lived in my apartment, and my 3 roommates weren't moved in yet for school, because it wasn't dorms for Barron County, it was apartments. And so I was the RA for that floor, and so I lived alone for the first, it might have actually been 3 weeks, but anyway, during that time I had like different people over like all the time, meaning men. Anyway, so this guy pulls up in his motorcycle, and I'm like and so I'm like, oh, please come into my apartment and come hang out, and we're gonna watch a movie. And so he comes in, we're hanging out, talking, and he seems normal, right? Like, he seems really nice. He was a former service member, like, really seems like a stand-up dude. And then the movie ends, and it's late, and so again, I'm not proud of all choices I've ever made, and I'm like, oh, just come and sleep over, and wasn't supposed to do that at those apartments, but I'm like, oh, sleep over, it's fine, I'm the RA, who's gonna yell at me? So he slept over. Some canoodling starts happening, right? So we're kissing and and anyway, so all of a sudden we're like making out, and he literally pulls back. This is so bad. He pulls back. I have never shared this story publicly. He looks me in the eyes and he goes, so can I suck on your toes? I'm not kidding. It was so bad. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, can I like suck on your toes? And I thought he was kidding, so I'm like, yeah, okay. He starts moving down to my feet, and he gets...
You're like, no.
The whole time, internally, I'm like screaming. I'm like, oh my God, no! So he gets down there, and he's down at the foot of my bed, and I'm like, there's no way this guy is gonna do this. Sure as baloney, he grabs my foot, goes to eat it like a sandwich, and put it in his mouth, and I went, no, and I pulled my foot out. And he's like, whoa, I thought you said it was okay, and I'm like, no, I was joking. And so he's like, well, whatever, if you're gonna be like a bitch about it, and storms out. He grabs his biker helmet and his jacket and storms out, blocks me and ghosts me on everything. I'm like, okay, because I was the weirdo in that situation. Like, Steve, there are other things to put in your mouth besides people's feet. Ew.
Just because he wanted to get some toe action.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yep, I got blocked.
I cannot. Also, the whole like him blocking you and like doing whatever, like, okay, just because you didn't get your weird little fantasy. Not that I'm kink shaming, like whatever. You do what you like, but when the other person is not has not consented to that, that's different, bro.
Yeah,
Like you need to
for
respect.
real.
Ugh,
I had a guy
that's
offer me money on
icky.
Tinder for my socks one time.
For your ew,
For my
I thought you were gonna say feet
No,
pics.
for my dirty socks.
Just
I had a
socks.
picture
Just
of me with my
socks.
work boots on, and I like it was a full body pic of me like in my backyard with my boots on. He messages me and he's like, "Hey, can I have the socks you were wearing in that photo?" And I'm like, "Can you what?" And he's like, "I'll give you $50 for them and pay for the shipping." I'm like, "Homie, I'm broke, and I was a broke college kid. I wasn't that broke. I was not about to send my socks for $50." Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep. So, Steve, if you are listening and you know who you are, you're nasty. And no means no. Ew.
Oh my god.
Like, read the room. Also, if a girl laughs at you and goes, "Oh, yeah, okay," on what planet is that consent? Like,
Right. Right. Oh
yeah.
no. Oof.
Uh-huh. So that was cool.
Yep, yep. Okay, so mine have just been going in like in order of like as I'm getting older.
Okay.
So we went from like junior senior year and like into my freshman year of college, i.e. the only year of college that I ever went to.
Me too.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And this was the last, or not the last, the second to last horrible dating experience that I had before meeting my husband. Bless up. Um, I, let's all say it together, went on my yearbook and, and I found this man who, looked very familiar. And I'm like, where have I seen you before? And it turns out that he was engaged to previously, not at the time. He was previously engaged to somebody that used to go to our school. Who I mean, she went to our school for like a combined total of I think like maybe 2 or 3 years. Like I think she did like 2 stints at our school. She was a year. I think she maybe was in my grade. I can't really remember, but she was obsessed with me. First of all, because she like lived for a period, she lived right behind me in the house right behind me and was weirdly obsessed with me. She would for like come over to my house uninvited and like make up this like best friend quote unquote handshake that we would do that I would just like kind of play into because I just kind of felt sorry for her. I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure. She was also that girl who like when she drank stuff, she like gulped super loudly like a child. Like she would go like like you know what I'm talking about, like how children do that. Yeah, she would do
That's
that
a
whenever
new
she would
ick for
drink
me.
fluids.
That's a new ick for me.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was his previous fiancée, and I saw right past that because this person was British.
Ooh.
And I had, as well as like a lot of people, a propensity to be attracted to British people or people with accents. And on top of that, the pictures that he presented on his profile were from his time in military school back in Britain from years prior that I didn't realize were years prior.
Oh no.
Yep. And so we started talking and we seemed like we really liked each other. And he was like, hey, I actually live in Rice Lake. I'm like, no shit. And so I was like, I'll come over to your place. Like, we'll hang out. And meanwhile, I'm expecting something completely different than what I walked into. Got to this house, just decrepit, old, like not good looking house, which if that's all he could afford at the time, I have no reason to judge. I've always been in the bottom of like the financial totem pole, so I get it. So I get there, I park, I go up to the door, and when I open the door, I expect to be looking up or at eye level with this person, but I end up looking
Shut
down.
up.
Mm-hmm. Which I know this is just a bunch of like uh this is just a bunch of like what seems like judging, but like when I'm expecting to either look you straight in the eye or look up to you, because that's how you've presented yourself, and I end up looking down, I'm gonna be like, dude, what the hell? And so not only was I looking down, but he was also like 50 to 75 pounds heavier than what his pictures showed, which that was the least of my worries. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I've got a few extra pounds on me, whatever. Um, yeah. So I was just like, you know what, Mariah? We're not going to be vapid about this. We're not going to care about appearance. If you really like him and he has a good personality, let's just continue. And that's what I thought was going on for like a decent period of time. Like the first couple weeks, I was like, okay, this is fun. Um, we never went anywhere aside from like his house or like his bedroom, which that sounds risque, but no, like he just had like video games and shit up in his
Oh,
bedroom, and
okay.
we just like chill and like yeah, so we just just be chilling on his in his bedroom. And we would never go anywhere except for McDonald's. Half the time I had to pay.
What?
Yep.
Come on.
This was also my first experience with alcohol, and my first uh, canoodling experience. My first time.
Oh,
That
no.
effectively turned out to be SA, i.e., grape.
I am
But
so
I
sorry.
thank you. I appreciate that. I do just want to like disclaimer this, like I have come to terms with it. I'm totally fine about it. I can look back on it and be like, whew, all right, well, whatever, just like
Yeah.
wipe that from my memory just because like he's a trash person in general. So, but yeah, so he got me he got he got me like super super drunk on the worst alcohol known to man, 99 bananas. Like,
People
what are
drink
you doing?
that?
And he mixed it. Yes, and he mixed it with Mountain Dew
Ew.
and told me that it was the best thing on earth. And I was like, okay, yeah, because I'd never had alcohol before, so I'm like, for
Oh,
sure. And
yeah.
I drank it, and it was like disgusting. So yeah, got drunk on that. Whatever. The unfortunate event happened, and I'm like, all right, I'm with this guy, you know. And then like the flags started progressively getting more flaming red. And so I'm like, oh God, oh no. But this was like one of the first quote unquote like boyfriends I've had, like long term. It was like the 3 months. And so I'm like, yeah, like he gave me a key to his place. I'm like, oh, sick. And the straw that broke the camel's back, aside from him like just being a lazy sack of poop, and the unfortunate experience, was the fact that he had cats, which was fine. I'm allergic to cats, but I got over it. He had cats, and one day he thought it would be just super hilarious to put his one cat, at that point I think she was a kitten, she was pretty small, into a duffel bag, zip up the duffel bag, and throw it down the stairs. Yep. Yeah. The cat was fine.
For anyone
I
listening,
made
my
sure.
like if you're listening on Spotify, my jaw is literally on the floor, like I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
As I assume most of yours are.
wrap my mind around what you just said.
I I thought I had entered the twilight zone. I was like, did this really just
Oh my
happen?
god.
My first instinct, as any normal human with a heart, I ran down the stairs and checked on the cat. Cat seemed to be fine. Didn't seem to be like hurting or limping anywhere. Didn't really seem to be even like super dazed. So I'm like, okay. And then I ran back upstairs and I just started screaming at him, like, what are you doing? And he was just sitting there laughing. Like he thought it was the funniest thing that ever happened. And yeah, at that point I'm like, okay, this is
This is dangerous.
this is done.
Yep.
This is
I'm in
done.
danger.
And so yeah, and so cuz I could clearly tell he didn't care about this cat. I put a thing on Facebook asking anybody if they would come and take this cat. I don't know if anybody ever did because I just got myself out of that situation as fast as I could. And then I thought it was all over and done with because we had stopped talking. And fast forward to later that year, I had, believe, already started seeing my husband. Fast forward to later that year, I was at college because this all had happened over, I believe, my winter break. So I was just in Rice Lake the whole time. So later that year at college, I was sitting having lunch with my roommate, and I get this very weird text from him. And it was like, I can't wait to see you at school next year. And I'm like, what? He's like, I cannot wait to be with you at River Falls next year. I'm coming to your school. And my heart dropped to my stomach, and I said to my roommate, I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm terrified. And he just kept sending cryptic messages like that, basically saying that he was just gonna come and like stalk me, and he just wanted to be near me, and we were gonna be
Oh my
together, and
God.
all this stuff. And so the only thing that we could realistically think of was to go to the campus
Good for
police.
you. Yep.
And so we went to the campus police. We told them the whole story, and they were like, there's not much we can do, but what we can do is we can call him and talk to him. And so they called the number, and he didn't answer, but they left a voicemail basically where they said, hey, we know that you're trying to keep in contact with Mariah. We understand what you're trying to do. She's very, she's not okay with this situation. So if you do attempt to contact her once again, like, there'll be like police measures taken against you or whatever they said. So thankfully the campus police were there and they had my back. And after that, I never heard from him again. Never saw him again. And as far as I know, he's living in Green Bay now, and he is married. And guess what? He's a youth pastor. Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep. So sorry this had to get like super dark, but that was like I had to mention this person.
No, for real.
Because man.
Yeah. And like, ladies, my hope is to anybody listening, please use these funny, like some funny and some not so funny stories as a learning tool and a learning lesson. Like, if you feel danger, there's a reason you feel that way. If you have a stomach turn, twinge, whatever, there is a reason behind that, and trust your gut. Trust your intuition. If you feel you might not be safe, go get help. That, Mariah, that is the best thing you could have done in that situation. Because all too often, girls don't. They don't say anything. They don't get help. They don't trust their gut, and bad things happen. Like, I just, if anybody is listening, please, please, please use these as learning lessons, for the serious ones and also for the not so serious ones. We're telling you all sorts of red flags to watch out for.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. I
So yeah, if you
I can't even wrap my mind
you
around
sense,
that happened.
yeah. So if you sense even anything remotely wrong or anything that makes you feel even the slightest bit off, you need to remove yourself from that situation right away. Or at least like you need to really, really, really think about it super hard. Talk to your friends, talk to people around you, get their opinions, because let me tell you, no man will ever be worth sacrificing your safety and your self-worth. You come first in everything. And unfortunately, both of us kind of had to learn that the hard way. So we're hoping that our stories, both, silly and not, can help you in, not making decisions like that, and, helping you to be strong and listen to your inner voice and your intuition.
Absolutely. Especially as women, young women, even older women, but it's so important, being a woman, to be able to focus too on keeping yourself safe. I wish we lived in a perfect world where, men acted the way men should act. And we don't. Unfortunately, we live in a world where oftentimes there are predators out there that will take advantage of you, because you're smaller, maybe not as strong as they are. And so absolutely trust your gut. If something is not right, you have that feeling for a reason, and trust it. To flip the switch onto a lighter note, I figure why not embarrass the snot on myself again with one of my crazy stories. So I was there was this guy, and seeing him today actually sparked like remembering these stories because it was funny. He was at a mutual event that I was at. So again, short queens, you get it, all right. But this guy here is like six. I think he's 6'6", 6'7". He's like 6'7" or 6'8". Like the dude is tall, crazy tall. And I met him through my older brother that I was at for an event today. Stood in his wedding. We both stood. Like we've just been, we've known each other for a very long time. Well, when I was in college, there was a stint where I was single and I just I wasn't looking for anything serious, but I also was really tired of getting like screwed over. And we became kind of like friends with benefits. We'd hang out and make out and canoodle. Sorry, mom and dad, if you're listening. But like we'd hang out, and he would go with me to stuff. I needed a +1 to a wedding one time, and he showed up as my +1, so I wouldn't have to go alone. Like that's where we're still good friends. We've always been good friends, but one particular time we were hanging out. He was house sitting for this family member of his, and they had said, you can have guests over, whatever. So we had hung out all day. I remember being in the car and he was singing Josh Turner songs and like identical to Josh Turner, right? Deep voice, whatever. And so we go back to this house and we're hanging out. We're watching a movie and we're like, all right, let's go to bed. So we go to bed. No canoodling is happening. And all of a sudden we hear crashing downstairs. Okay. They have dogs. So I'm like, is someone in the house? And he's like, all right, I'm going to go look. And immediately I'm like, I ain't going to look. I don't know what that is. I'm not about to go down the stairs. The short white girl dies in these movies. I'm not doing it. And so I stay in bed and I'm like, oh man. And I can hear him like kind of moving around down there. And he comes up and he's like, God, I don't know what it was. Like the dogs seemed like they were maybe chasing something. Maybe it was a mouse. I don't know. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we go back to bed. Sure as baloney. A couple hours later, same thing. Crashing. And like you can hear the dogs running. And so he goes running down the stairs. Nothing's there. Okay. The next day, I get up. I get changed. Start to head I had to go to work. And all of a sudden, I'm like halfway to work. And I get a text message. And he's like, you're not going to blanking believe this. And I'm like, what? He sends me a photo of... So there's like normal size dust, there's a broom, a dustpan. There's normal size dustpans, then there's construction size dustpans, okay? They're like this big. Sends me a photo of a construction size dustpan with a rat in it. A rat, not a mouse, a rat. And the thing is almost as big as this dustpan. And he's like, I literally went downstairs after you left. And he's like, I saw something run. He grabbed a broom and he beat the crap out of this rat and ended up killing it. And that's what the dogs had been chasing. It was like the size of a small child. Like the thing was huge. It was so gross.
Ew.
Yeah, immediately I was like,
I'll have to send you a picture because we had kind of the same experience here. Like right after we moved into our house, we were both, okay, so this is for all the broke people out there who are just starting out on their own. When we first bought our house, we had no furniture. And when I say no furniture, I mean literally nothing. We had to go out and buy like a table, and we didn't have a bed. We had a blow up mattress.
Well, because y'all went from, literally for context for anybody listening, like y'all went from being roommates at my house to going and getting a whole house. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And we got our house pretty cheap because it was not furnished at all. So yeah, we were bare bones, like bare bones. So we were on our air mattress in the living room, and all of a sudden we hear our biggest dog go crazy in the kitchen. We're like, oh my God, what's going on? Like everything was crashing. And so we run in there and we see this rat that I don't know how it died because it was all intact, or it looked like it was all intact. Maybe it just died of being scared of my dog. I don't know. But yeah, no, when I say that this rat was like from like tail to snout, it was like maybe a foot and a half,
Oh
2 feet.
no,
It
no.
was huge. I'll have to send you the picture if I can find it. It was, yeah, disgusting.
That's awful.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really only have one more story before I met my husband. But this story is a doozy, and it's a funny one. So you buckle up. I was on Tinder in college after the previous guy I was talking about. I was on Tinder and I saw this guy. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's really cute and like whatever. And his name was Nate.
Her husband's
For
name
those
is
of you who
Nate.
don't, yeah, my husband's name is Nate. So that's just like, okay. So this guy's name was Nate. Keep in mind, I hadn't met my Nate yet. And so I'm like, okay, cool. This guy's super cute in all of his pictures. He's got like a really cute smile. He's got pretty eyes. Like he's a soccer player. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And so we're talking, and he invites me to go to a movie in Hudson, which is, like I said, like 20 minutes away or whatever. And so I'm like, yeah, for sure. And I'm fully expecting that he's going to come pick me up. And he was like, oh, did you just want to meet at the theater? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's fine. And so keep in mind, my car is on the other side of campus, like I said. Well, in my, like, just in my frazzledness of being like, oh my gosh, I've got a date with this really cute guy, I go to the parking lot. I can't find my car. I don't know where it is. So I'm just like running around the parking lot, just like looking like an idiot, mind you, just looking for my car. I'm like, I can't find it. And so I call my roommate. I'm like, can you drive me to Hudson to the movie theater? Like he could drive me back. And she's like, okay, yeah, sure. So she comes and she picks me up in the parking lot that I'm just losing my mind in. And she takes me to the theater, drops me off. She's like, have a good date. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. And so we see the movie American Sniper, just by the way. Um, so I walk into the theater and I see him, looks like his pictures. I'm like, oh, bless. And so I walk up to him and he's holding a teddy bear and like something else because it was like right before Valentine's Day.
Cute.
Yeah, and so that was before.
Oh no.
that was before he opened his
Oh
mouth.
no.
And I realized at that point that the reason why in all of his pictures on his Tinder he was smiling with a closed mouth smile.
Shut up.
It was it was because he was missing not only one, not only two, not only three, but four of his front teeth.
No.
All four of his front teeth.
No. No.
Yep. Yep. And
Oh my gosh.
I obviously couldn't turn tail and run because my roommate was already back on the
Yeah,
highway.
your ride's gone.
Yeah, so I'm effectively trapped here with this person. And so I'm like, oh,
Oh
okay.
no.
His personality was very nice. He was very sweet. And so I'm like, okay, let's just get through the movie. He'll take me home. It'll be fine. We won't ever speak of this again.
Yeah.
And so we go into the movie. Halfway through, his super clammy hand latches onto mine. I'm like, okay, power through, Mariah. You're strong. You can do
It's
this.
fine.
Yeah, right. The movie ends, and the lights come up in the theater. Everybody's leaving, and I go to take my glasses off to kind of like wipe my cheeks because American Sniper is kind of a sad
Yeah.
movie. Like it makes you cry, and I cry very easily at everything. So I'm taking my glasses off, wiping my tears, and he takes that opportunity to take my glasses from my hands and put them on his face. Why? I
Are
don't
you
know.
a psychopath,
And-
sir?
Right. And so I'm just like, oh, cool. Can I have my glasses back, please? And he didn't give them back. Like, he just kept them on his face. And so I'm like, no, like, I need them to see. Like, please give me my glasses. And so he finally did. I'm like, all right, cool. And so he's like, hey, did you want to go get something to eat? I'm like, oh, I'm actually not super hungry. He's like, oh man, I was actually really hungry. I was hoping to take you out to dinner. And so I'm just like, me being the empath that I am, I'm like, yeah, yeah, we can go to dinner. That's fine. Like, I'll just get something light. And so we walk out of the movie theater and we're walking not into the parking lot. We're walking around the theater to the back of the theater
What?
where there are no cars, and we're behind the theater by the time that he goes, "Yeah, so I don't have a car, so we'll just have to walk there if that's okay."
Shut up. Shut up. You're stranded there with this man that has no car.
Yeah, he didn't say anything about it. And mind you, from the theater to the Perkins that he wanted to go to, Sarah, it was like 2.5 to 3 miles.
Oh my gosh.
And it was fully dark. It was fully dark out by this point too. And we were walking on these like back roads in Hudson, and it was cold, and he didn't have a jacket on him, and I didn't have one. So I'm like, okay, this is just
Did
great.
this fella have a home?
And so I don't know. Maybe not. He looked super. Aside from the teeth, he looked like super. Like he kept up with his
Hygiene
like
and
the cleanliness and
Okay.
hygiene. So I'm like, okay, but you don't have a car. You don't have front teeth. Okay. So I do not know what to do at this point, and so we're walking to the restaurant, and I don't know why I didn't think to text my roommate while I was walking there, but I didn't. I was just trying to keep up conversation with this guy because I'm like, well, maybe if he sees on, maybe he feel, oh, hello, maybe if he sees me on my phone, or he like maybe sees that I'm texting my roommate to come get me. I don't know anything about this guy. Maybe he's a serial killer. Maybe that's why he's taking me
Yeah.
back here to walk to Perkins. And so I'm just like, okay, just keep him happy. Let's just talk and let's walk to
I'm like
Perkins.
afraid for you.
It was so terrifying. So I don't know how long it took us to walk there. Probably like at least an hour. And we finally get to Perkins. And so by that time, he was distracted enough to where I set my roommate in all caps. I'm like, SOS, you need to come back right now. I'm scared. And so she's like, okay, like, yeah, for sure. And it, like, we're totally in a public place. Like, we're in Perkins right now. So, like, I wasn't like actually like scared for my life. But I was just like, this guy is so
I
weird.
need to
Please
get out of here.
save me.
Yeah.
And that goes again to
Trust
everybody,
your
like,
instincts.
trust your intuition. And so my roommate's like, okay, yeah, like me and one of our friends, like we're on our way right now. And so I order a salad because, spoiler alert, I actually hadn't eaten. I was really hungry. I just wanted to end the date with this guy. But whatever. And so I ordered a salad. I'm like, oh, I'm just not that hungry. Scarf down the salad. Meanwhile, I'm just like, oh, I got a text from my roommate. Oh no, she says that she really needs my help, like that she like had some fight with her boyfriend or something. So I have to go. I'm so sorry. Like she's on her way here cuz she needs me. And he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, that's totally fine." And so I'm like, "Bless." But so we finish our food and we finish paying the check, and I go to like scoot out of the booth, but he comes around on my side of the booth, scoots himself in, and within like 2 seconds he has his tongue down my throat in the middle of a fucking Perkins.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like it was his tongue was like darting in
Well,
and
yeah,
out. Like
there's
it
no
was
teeth for it to stop it, you know? Like,
exactly. It's clear
yeah,
passage,
clear
man. Like
highway.
there's no So yeah, and I was, oh god. So yeah, that happened, and I just had to kind of allow it to happen because there was literally nowhere for me to go. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. And so he finishes, and I'm like, okay, all right. Oh, my roommate's here. I gotta go. Bye. He's like, oh, I'll walk you to the
Please
car.
don't.
And I'm like, oh no, that's okay. You don't have to. I'm like, oh, I actually, because we were in those like the Perkins is kind of like by a strip mall, and there was an Orange Leaf, like a frozen yogurt place that we could see that my roommate and my friend were in, waiting for me. And so I'm like, oh, I can actually see them over there at the Orange Leaf. So I'm just gonna like, I'll see you later. Like I'm gonna go. And he's like, no, like what kind of guy would I be if I didn't walk you over there? And I'm like,
The
okay,
kind that
all
crams your
right.
tongue down a girl's throat with no warning and no consent.
Right, right. And so I'm like, okay, like
It's
through gritted
fine.
teeth. And so I'm like trying my best to like walk fast and like walk ahead of
Yeah.
him and like send my roommate signals like with my
Help
eyes through the
me.
window. Like they see me coming and she's like, "Oh no." And so I go in and I start talking to them and he like just pops up behind me and just stands there. I'm like, "Okay." And so we all get up and we're like, "All right, we're going to go then." And he walks with us to the car. Thankfully, no, I thought he was going to ask for a ride, at which point I was going to say absolutely not. Plus, this is not my car, so I can't say anything. But no, he didn't. He didn't try to make another move either, which thank the Lord. But yeah, he walked to the car and basically was just like peering in the window, like staring at me as we were driving off. And yeah, that was the last I ever talked to or spoke to him, like or saw him again. I deleted and blocked him on everything. Like on the drive home, I took the teddy bear that he gave me and I literally shoved a corkscrew for wine. I shoved a corkscrew in its face when I got home and I like chopped the head off and I threw it in the garbage and I'm just like me and my roommate and my friend were just sitting there like what just happened?
Oh my god.
What's going on? And then like a week later I meet my Nate. And I will admit, I was very wary at first because they share the same first name, and I'm like, oh my god, PTSD. But then it turned out
Yeah.
fine. So I'm married to the guy, so it's fine. It's
And
fine.
he's like the sweetest ever. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So it all worked out, you know.
so mine, I'll share one more, and then we can share our honorable mention that was from an anonymous person. So
Okay.
my last one, so this is a guy that I was dating. Well, I was in high school, and I didn't. This could sound so terrible. I hung out with these brothers. We were all buddies, like we were all just bros. I was really close with their grandparents, so they were like, "Oh, here, you need friends. Hang out with our grandsons." And so we would go four wheeling and stuff. Well, the younger brother asked me out, and I was like secretly hoping the older brother would, but I was like, "Okay." And so we start, hanging out or whatever. This guy, okay, we're in a group now, like, we're supposed to hang out. There's a group of a ton of us that are going to go four-wheeling. Like, I don't know, it's me, him, and, like, three or four of their other buddies, all guys. And so I was in a hoodie. Underneath, I had a spaghetti strap on, and I had blue jeans, right? So we're four-wheeling. Now, common sense would tell you if your girlfriend is on the back of the thing or a girl you're trying to impress, I don't know, maybe don't pull up to the biggest puddle and then rev it with no warning. Like, doesn't tell me he's going to do it. Flips me off the four-wheeler. I am laying in a puddle that is literally so deep, it's completely all the way, only thing is exposed is my face, okay? And they're all laughing. They think it's freaking hysterical. And so I get up, I'm pissed. I'm like soaking wet. It's dirty. I'm filthy. And he's like, now you gotta take your sweatshirt off in front of all his guy friends. And so I didn't have a choice. Like, the thing was sopping wet. So I take my sweatshirt off. Anyway, we go finish out the four-wheeling. I'm pissed. This whole time, I'm like, dude, I want nothing to do with you. Like, you suck. And, yeah, we go to get to his truck, load the four-wheeler in, and we're supposed to be headed back to my house. He decides to lean over and start trying to kiss me and, like, puts his tongue in my mouth. There is dirt that ends up in my mouth because he had dirt all over his face. And so literally I have dirt in my mouth and it's like gritting in my teeth. I'm like almost gagging because for me, dirt in my mouth is a big thing. Like, it's a big sensory ick. I will puke. I can't do it. And I'm like, I start dry heaving and I'm like, I'm sorry. And I open the door and I throw up.
Oh no.
And
Oh
so I'm in a spaghetti like a tank top, blue jeans, my sweatshirt's still wet. I throw up outside the cab of his truck, so there's some puke on me too. And And yeah, he had to take me home. And believe it or not, that's not even the worst date that him and I had. There were several more. But like another instance, I was in a neck brace because I had a neck injury from when I played football. Him and his buddy came from Hayward to pick me up to cheer me up. They wanted to take me for an outing. They took me to Paranormal Activity 3. Mariah knows me. Fun factoid about Sarah. I don't like horror movies. I will scream. I will cry. I will throw things. It's not fun for anybody in the room. So I end up launching the popcorn all over the second or the third and fourth row. By the end of it, I don't even know what happened. I was wrapped around the one guy's leg crying on the ground because I didn't want to see the screen anymore and I couldn't take it anymore. They then, after the movie, took me to Dollar General. And so, like, I'm not a little lady now, but I've always been 5'3". Back then, I was smaller. The bigger one picks me up, throws me over his shoulder when I get out of the car, and puts me in the trunk. And then closes it.
What?
And then closes it. Because he, quote, wanted to see if I could actually fit, threw me in the trunk of the car in a neck brace and shut it.
Dude, what?
Left me there for a good, I don't know, 30 seconds. And then opens it and is like, yeah, you fit.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, I want to go home. Like, at this point, I've had it. I'm pissed off. This little shrimp, I'm like now a pissed off shrimp. And literally, I'm like, I want to go home. Like, I have had it. I'm done. I want to go home. So, yeah, they loaded me back in the car and took me home.
Oh my god.
So that was really cool.
I wanted to see if you fit. What? Okay.
Who thinks an intrusive thought like that looking at a short person and then acts on it? Like,
right. Oh my god.
Yeah, so that was really neat. Okay, so to wrap up for today, though, I have to share our anonymous submission. I will not say who this is, by the way, to respect this person, and it'll understand when I tell the story. Okay, so this is the story from a man. Okay, a man told me this story. A friend of mine, and he, so when he was in college, okay, he was a bigger guy. He played football, like bigger dude, you know. For context, he had there was a girl at a bar, and they were, back then it was the My Germs thing from, I don't know, is it Scary Movie or whatever it is. It was a fad. So he saw other guys doing it that were like, you know, hot, whatever, football players. So he walked up to a girl at the bar and went, My Germs, and poked his finger in her beer. She looks at him. No. She turns around. Bad language coming up for anybody listening. Trigger warning. But she looks at him and goes, That's my drink, you fat, ugly fuck! In front of all his friends. And this guy, he's so, like, he's just such a sweet, like, whatever guy. He was laughing too. But for context, that's, like, the type of guy this was, okay? So, he starts dating this other girl. They go out, you know, whatever, have a wonderful date. It goes really well, and they go back to her place, okay? So, all of a sudden, he gets a tummy rumbling. They're in her bed, laying there, hanging out, and his tummy starts rumbling. So he's like, I need to go potty. And so he goes to the bathroom, okay? Goes potty, and can't flush it. Okay? Oh. She doesn't have a plunger.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And so he uses the only thing logically he can think of at that point. He grabs her toothbrush and starts trying to bust up the turd so it'll go down. And gets crap all over her toothbrush. And so now it's panic mode. Now not only is there, like, you know, this backed up toilet, now there's a toothbrush in play. So he finally gets this poo down, but he had put like a bunch of toilet paper. It is bad. So he gets this poo down, and now he has the toothbrush and is like, what do I do? And so He throws it in the garbage and goes out and tells the girl, gives her some like BS excuse like, hey, I dropped your toothbrush and I broke it.
I broke it. Did you chuck it at the ground? You broke it? What?
And also, why were you touching my toothbrush? I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, so he leaves it in the thing, and he's like, I got out of there. I got out of there as fast as I could. Because how do you come back from that?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The toothbrush.
The toothbrush to bust up the turd so he could flush it down.
Okay, to his credit, though, at least he didn't, like, wipe it off and put it back.
True. He could have been a jerk and, like, rinsed it and then put it back. That is true. He's a true gentleman.
I used your toothbrush to break up my turd, but don't worry, sweetheart, I threw it away. Like, oh, no.
Yeah, and, like... If you know this person, too, I can only imagine how, like, flustered and panicky he was of, like, oh, God, what do I do?
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yikes. See, there you go, everybody. It happens to everyone.
To the best
everyone
of us,
has.
okay?
Everyone has a dating horror story. Whew. Some of them are more shitty than the others.
Hey-o.
But oh, holy man. Yeah. Oof. All right, everyone. Unfortunately, it's that time once again. We've shared our stories, and now we're going to go rethink all of our teenage life choices.
We had so much fun hanging out with all of you again this week, and we hope you had just as much fun as we did. We'd like to quickly take a moment, though, to thank those of you who have been listening to and supporting Girl What these past few weeks. We are so thankful for all of you and your continuing support. If you're not already, make sure you're following us on all your socials so you can interact with us and be the first to know when an episode drops.
That's right. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify at Girl What, the podcast. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, share, and comment ideas for what you'd like to hear us talk about in the future. All the things. We always look forward to hearing from you guys.
And you can join us again next week where we will be talking about all things jobs. Past jobs, current jobs, job irks, funny job stories, or just funny, crazy interactions we've had with working in customer service. Nothing is off limits. So you'll want to be sure to tune in and you don't want to miss it.
For sure. All right. Well, have a great night, everybody.